Ruben wanted to build a retaining wall, and instead of doing the gabion wall, he thought, let's just make it usable and make it a raised garden bed.
We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
Well, spring is definitely springing into action. We have patches of green popping up everywhere, and we've had a wonderful week as far as weather goes, but we are expecting another storm coming in starting tomorrow, and I think it's going to be windy later on this afternoon. So if there is terrible audio, we apologize in advance. Now the seedlings are starting to do very well. We have a few lavender popping up. The onions are looking good, and so is the celery. So this morning I sowed a few more seeds that are more cold hardy for the spring. That includes some of the lettuces and cabbage and Brussels sprouts and broccoli. You know, all those vegetables that you love. But we got a nice delivery this week. Unexpectedly, the backhoe was available, so we got it delivered. And we are trying today to use it as much as possible because we don't know how long we have it for. So the first order of business is for us to flatten out that whole area, that mud pit, or what became a mud pit, over by the shipping containers. Everything okay?
Battery is completely dead. Rocks are gonna kill us.
Just like old times. And now it's time to level out this area here in front of the house that has no gravel on it. It was a mess.
with the post hole digger and this wonderful tool, we'll be able to drive the 4x4s in and build the deer fence that we're gonna make, and hopefully it keeps them out. So what we're doing now is we're consolidating more room here for the garden beds. So we're going to build a garden bed that's also going to act as a retaining wall for the continuation of our little
fort
area.
Our fort that
Our
we
little
keep building.
fort, yeah. And yeah, pretty much just build the box here, build the same kind of wood, and hopefully it fits, because we ain't got that much time. They could ask for it back any day now.
He is headed back over to the shipping containers, and he's going to mill some of the pine that we still have. So it's going to be similar to these garden beds for the garden bed that is going to go here. And my job right now while he's doing that is to level this out and backfill it to accommodate the future garden bed that I didn't know we were going to have.
Not too shabby, considering I don't know the dimensions we're building it to.
I hear a bee.
Huh?
Look, there's a bee.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
There's a bunch of them actually.
Sweet.
They're close by. do that.
Did it pinch?
No, it hit the ground.
This is 3 feet?
It's a nice stump. These will work. It's gonna be a little whack whack, but it'll
Not.
Nah, it's gonna be whack whack.
Well, the wind did kick up, so we're just gonna time lapse from this point forward to save you the grief of having terrible audio, and then the build will just come together that much faster. So see you on the other end. So we were just looking at this and it looks like we made a big giant outdoor couch. All right, we're gonna try to do this quick because the wind is still blowing. So, ta-da! In the words of Ruben, so Ruben wanted to build a retaining wall, and instead of doing the gabion wall, he thought, let's just make it usable and make it a raised garden bed. So we're gonna backfill this with dirt and rocks and wood and compost and all that stuff, but I'll get to that this week. Well, we hit a stopping point yesterday because the wind significantly picked up and the temperature dropped. So we just called it an evening and went inside. But we got the final touches done structurally. So what I have to do this week, I'm hoping to get to it later this afternoon or possibly tomorrow morning, is put some hardwood cloth down there at the bottom because we do have a lot of ground squirrels and groundhogs, and the food we plant in there is for us, not them. And then, of course, once I put that hardwood cloth down at the bottom, I will backfill it with this dirt, add some rocks and logs and whatnot for that hugelkultur method that we like to practice. And then, of course, I will finish it with some topsoil and then plant whatever I'm going to plant here. And I don't know if you can see those posts there in the background. So we've got a few posts. Those are 4x4s. Ruben was able to get those post holes completed for those 3 spots. And those are marking the border of the future enclosed garden area. So we do have deer pressure here. It hasn't been terrible. And last year, I really did get around it by covering each individual bed on its own, but it becomes a lot of work when you're having to do weeding on a regular basis to uncover them and recover them. So we're hoping possibly that this will help us just to have an enclosed area that I can just sort of roam around freely in and do my garden tending without it taking as much time as it did this last season, but we'll see. Now, what we got done this past weekend, really, because Ruben worked very long hours and we were only able to get stuff done on Saturday and Sunday in between other stuff, we just wanted to use that backhoe as much as we could because we do have to return it. And that's why we just did a lot of digging, a lot of smoothing out, a lot of fixing of the ruts that we possibly could in an effort to hopefully get a head start on the next storm that is coming in. It is spring, so although it was a beautiful, like I think we hit 60 the other day, yesterday got chillier. Of course, we had that wind, and then now another storm is coming in, likely. We're gonna get some snow. Well, family, that wraps up this week's update. So we'll see you next week, maybe with some snow, maybe not. But thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought in the comments below and give us a like. See you next week.
dug a hole.